Okay guys, um, I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to actually do the officer progress tracking using the Google Sheet that we have now. Okay, the system that we have now. If you are looking at this tutorial, then it means you are authorized or you are a gold command. So, okay, so first of all, you will need to open the MPD documents index list. And the first that you really need to actually the first document that you really need to open is the MPD lecture quiz, which is document index number 5, which is document 01.2. Okay, now you will need to have access as an editor for all these documents that we're talking about. Now, especially the quizzes, because you will need to be able to get responses, to review responses, and override manually. Okay, the next one that you will need to open is the training logs. Okay, which again you will need to have the editor access to the responses, and then click under the Excel. Now I will make it more simpler in the document index. I will edit it to actually include the shortcut in the document index list to have the spreadsheet directly indexed in that in the Google Sheet MPD index list. And then the next one you will need to open is the activity logs. Okay, that's good. And then the last one, again, the activity logs. You need to open the Excel. With the activity logs and the training logs, you don't need to keep the form open. You just need the Google Sheet. And then the last document that you really need is the MPD officer progress tracking, which is document index number 21 in this case. Okay, so it might change a little bit in the future. So it's document number 13. Okay, that's it. So again, so the documents you will need to open is document 01.2, documents 10.1, documents 11.1, and documents number 13. It's not the documents index number. The document index number is a different. So, okay. So this is the documents number that I'm talking about. The documents number will not change. Document index number can be changed. So just bear in mind with that. Okay. So first of all, we will always need to look at the training logs and the MPD officer progress. That's the one that usually will be working towards all the time. So I usually organize it on the left rather on the right. Okay. So 10, 11, 13. Yes. So 1, 10, 11, and 13. Okay. So now all you need to do is just go to the very bottom and look for the one that hasn't been locked. Now in this case, you will see that there is one training here that needs to be locked. So those who has the status on column O that hasn't have any wording of lock into the training, into the ranking request or the officer progress, then it means we need to do it. Now in this case, this is so the training in here is actually the MPD lecture. So when it's actually saying MPD lecture, you need to go to the lecture quiz, which is the 01.2, the document 01.2. Look at the responses. Now with this one, you will want to open as well the Excel. Yes. So document 01.3 is the one that you need as well to open. Now, if you look at the bottom, you will see there is this one that hasn't been marked pass or failed. So thus, this is a pending one, which is Demi Dior, which is correct based on the training logs. So this is Demi Dior. Okay, so let's just track it. So day meteor is the last lecture quiz, so 160. So just straight away to go to 160, and you will see oh sorry, there is a minus. Yep, there you go. So this is the meteor, right? So now what you need to do in here is to look at each responses, and if it's marked as correct, then leave it as is. So that is already correct. Now, but if uh, only a few certain, but you will need to look at the like this one, mark X, right? Format and values. What happen is, so what we need to do is actually just look at the answers. Sometimes all you need to do is just make sure that this is actually all correct, because we don't necessarily update the answers in the Google form answers in the in the quiz. So yeah, so like this one, respect. Yes, respect is actually one of the new the new values that we've added at the time of taking this video. So yes, that's correct. So if you're not sure, just open the MPD lecture book, so you will find it. And then, oh sorry, not the lecture book, but open the MPD lecture training handbook, so you will find that respect is actually in there. Loyalty, yes. So this is actually all okay. Now, if something like this, is completely wrong, then leave it as wrong. You only mark it, so when you find something that you want to override as right, you change the number, the value here as 1 to become 1. So then it means you're overriding Google's decision to actually mark the question or mark the answer as wrong. Now in this one, yes, it's wrong. So who's the chief of police? This is wrong as well, so that's fine, because at this time it's not SPKCF. Now, state one of the MPD Discord rules. So what the principle that that I've taken in marking all these quizzes, this answer is common sense most of the time. But if so, when I say common sense, sometimes it's not really in the book that they answer, but it's actually a good thing that they're saying that we're actually doing. So yeah, so you can mark it as right, like this one. No racism is basically correct, because it's not this. It's a respect, about the respect. So I'm going to mark it as correct. This one, another Discord rule: do not evade user blocks or server rules. Okay, that should be okay. No, this is the in-game rule, so the same thing with the Discord rule. I'm actually using common sense, no killing or harassing others. So yes, so that's what we want as well in the attitude of the officers. Be fair and always live up to the values. Correct. So yep. Now this one, who can give warnings? Now unfortunately, uh, this is really per the lecture books. So if it's wrong, then it's wrong. So I can't really actually override it. I don't think that, we shouldn't actually override this. So with this question, if it's wrong, then it's wrong, because it's obvious. The answer is really in the lecture book. It's an open book quiz anyway. So they should actually read the lecture book and find this. Okay. So that's fine. That's fine. Now this one as well. This one you can't really mark it. You can't really override it as correct with this question, because all this question is really right or wrong. Now, for example, this one, the answer is on any level is correct, and then this one, blacklist can be given by gold command without approval. It's a false. The blacklist has to be the goal command has to ask permission from DCOP or COP. And then this one, what are the three behaviors? That's correct. Uh, that you should not do. It's in the lecture book, and it's actually one of where 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 the at that time the DCOP or COP actually mentioning is harassment, inactivity, and immaturity. True or false? Can you attend other training not for your rank? Technically, no. So if it's not for your rank, you shouldn't actually attend. Okay, so true or false? Can you enter the White House gate when invited by president? You can't. The president, even though invited by the president, you shouldn't, as an MPD officer, you cannot go inside the White House area unless it is in a lockdown state. In a lockdown state, MPD responds. MPD is one of the departments should actually respond to that, and then will be responsible in taking care and making sure the civilian is actually escorted to a safe place. True or false? Attending multiple players, so multiple time of same training will rank you higher? No, it will not rank you higher. So true or false? Once you rank, you need to update yourself in the bot comments. Yes. So all these questions are, all this is in the lecture book. Like this one as well in the lecture book. I don't know why this person didn't get it. So unfortunately, this one we can't override it. It's an obvious one, so you can't really miss it. The only thing with this one, with the speed, sometimes I try to actually put all the answer as much as possible that I think the options of the answer, but of course, it is not perfect. So if the answer is actually correct, for example, I know from my experience, some people just write, the full question first, so the maximum low full speed in here, and then with the correct answer of 20 miles per hour. Now, Google will mark it as wrong, but then if you read it as correct, then override it, and then mark it as correct. Same thing with this one. So unfortunately, that's all I can override with this answer, and I think this girl is really not passing. Okay, so it's 13 out of 20. So now, once you've done the lecture marking, so this is final score. Once final score, you go back to the 1.3, and you can see that the score is already updated. Now, the passing mark is 17. Let me check. Yes. So now there is only one. So this is only officer trainees. Forgot to training, and then there is no more like that. So now you can see officer trainee is 17 out of 20, and POFC training is 19 out of 20. Okay, so let's go back here. So now we can see, let's go back here, and then we'll just put here, because he's not passing the passing mark, which is 17. So we just copy it and then mark it as failed. Once that's done, you go to lecture results, and we will need to announce this later on in the lecture results channel. So all you need to do is just copy that, go to the Discord under the MPD Police Academy lecture result. So I'll just copy that, and then copy the previous announcement, and then just override this, and then just mark it, and then enter. So that's done. So that's how you announce the lecture results. So the lecture result now showing the Meteor is actually failing. So she or he will have to retry the lecture. Now, once we've done that, we go back here. That's not yet logging to the ranking request. We need to now mark it into the officer progress. Now, as you know, in every training, there is hosts, co-hosts, helpers, and then attendees. Now spectators, you will not include anywhere. So you will only need to actually put the name of the host. Uh, you will need to track the name. Sorry, you will need to track into the progress officer progress is the co-host and helpers. If the co-host is actually below the rank of sergeants, then yes, you will need to actually open up into the MPD. Will include it. We will need to do we will need to actually track the co-hosting and helping into the officer progress, because co-hosting and helping is part of the ranking requirement based on the ranking guideline for admission until the MPO, Master Patrol Officers. Okay, now since in this lecture there is no co-hosters or co-help or no there is no helpers, but only trainees. And in this case, in this training, only one trainee, which is Demi Dior. And yes, so then all we need to do, just try to now go to the number 13, document 13, and open the second one. Now we need to actually search for the name. So open the filter, clear, Demi Dior. Now if you can't find the name, right, because you copy it, right? You copy the name. You can copy the name if you're not sure. You can copy the name from the here, okay? Or maybe much saver is actually copied in there, and then just click under the filter under the column B, Roblox name, and then clear that first. Click clear. So when you open it, it will have all the ticks, and then click clear until you don't see the ticks, the check marks, and then paste the name. Now, if you cannot find it, and we know that the person is actually an officer's trainee or admissions, then what you need to do is create one. Just select the second one from the top, the second officer from the top. Just alt, just click insert, and then row above. And then you can then double click, so you can insert here, paste the name, okay, and then copy this. So copy the information from the bottom if you wish, okay, and then make sure that you delete everything first, and then leave the in progress status. Now in here, she has done lecture, but she did not pass. So you cannot mark 1. Mark 1 only when she passed the training or when she passed the lecture. So in this case, what you want to do is right click and then comment. We're going to leave a comment, or the shortcut for a comment is Control Alt M in Windows. I don't know in Mac. Maybe Mac is Command Alt M, but you'll have to check it. I'm not a Mac user. So in this case, comments. So we're gonna leave a comment here, and we're just gonna say failed lecture, and then we put the dates. So today is January 9, 2021. Okay, and then just click comment. That's it. So what if she failed another one? Then you click reply. So you just click here, and there is the reply. So when reply, you just add another failed lecture, blah blah blah. So the system then will mark as well the time when you actually logging the comments. So then we know, and we put the date just in case if we're not tracking the progress on the same day. Okay, so that's why we need the dates here. So you need to put the dates, so then we see the story. We see the story of how many times that the officer actually failing. Okay, so that's fine. Now once that's done, all you need to do is just then go to the last edit. Now in here, you need to put the dates and the time when you do the edits, or at least the dates. So now the easiest way to do it is just put now. Okay, so that's how you want to do it now. and then after that you copy, and then you paste value only. So thus it will leave the value. So you're locking in the dates and the time. Now that's done. Uh, but if this is a new person, like because this is a new officer, what we will need to do is open this one, the status. As you can see, it's only in progress. That's the one that we're showing, but there are other status. So you need to select all, and then click under the B1, and then Control A or select all. Do we have select all? No. Okay. So you need Control A, which is select all, or Command A in Mac, and then right click, and then sort range, and then put that, tick that. The data has header, and then we need to sort it by the second one first, the rank level, and then we need to add another sort column based on the Roblox name. Leave everything as is, and then just click sort. Done. Once that's done, you can then go back to the status and just show in progress. So this is important. We just want to show the one in progress, and click OK. Done. So once you've done it, we've logged the officer progress. Then we go back to the training log, and then we copy this one, and we mark it that the training has now been logged. And that's how you log a training into the officer progress tracking. Now, what happens if, let's say a Beardy has completed everything? Okay, so when a Beardy has completed everything, what you need to do is you need to create a new. You need to duplicate. You need to insert row again. So insert row like that, or below or above, doesn't really matter. And then you need to copy the officer that you wanna the one that's, let's say this one is actually approved, right? So once the whole requirement is actually has been done, you need to put it as submit to ranking, and then once it's actually ranked by inspector above, so police inspector or above, then you put it as approved. Okay, so that's the only time you put it as approved. If the officer hasn't been ranking, you need to put it as submit for ranking. Now, submit for ranking should always be selected in here. Okay, so let's say this one. So let me just delete this one first. So once, let's say a Beardy is actually submit for ranking. Okay, so we're gonna leave it as is in here, and then I will show it here. Okay, so I will just mark it. So in here there will be the ones showing. There you go. Okay, so now you will, so inspector and above can then check this spreadsheet, every day or whenever he wants to actually do the ranking. He will see that there is an officer that will need to be ranked, and then so that's a trigger for him to actually look for that status. So thus he will look at the status and then open only for the one that submit for ranking. Okay, let's say that's actually already been done. So then After this is actually done, so now this is actually for the inspector and above. This will need to be put as a proof, and then insert the above, and then we copy everything. We copy everything here like that, okay? And then we put the new one as the next level, which is now patrol officer. Okay, and then delete the progress, and then this is now in progress. There you go. So once that's done, all you need to do is just mark it, select everything, and then do the ranking, the sorting again. Control A. So you need to sort everything once you create a new one. So every time you create a new officer's line, then you need to sort it again. Same thing, sort range, data, rank level, and then Roblox name. Sort. Done. Okay? And then you need to go back to the status, remove the ban, and left just the in progress one. Okay? So that's it. Okay? So now a Beardy is actually a patrol officers. So that's what we want to do. So we want to track everything. We don't want to override the previous one. So the good thing with that, the reason with that is when you look at all this, you can then look the historical of a person. Now I'm just going to reset of a person. For example, if we look at let's say Ninja, maybe it's a yeah. Okay, Ninja or Nico. You can see Nico, the first rank that we are tracking is actually when he was a patrol officer, and he passed it, and now he's actually a patrol officer first class, and he hasn't done much anything in here. I know that he has done the activity logs. Okay, so at least then by doing this we know the story. Okay, or maybe look at Ninja. Let's see. Okay, so Ninja, patrol officers, and then becoming officer first class. Okay, and now Ninja actually, as you can see, this is a proof. So Ninja already become a sergeant, so he passed the silver command training application. So yeah, so that's why. So at least then we know what's going on to this one. Okay then, so that's all how we do the tracking. So if you have any question, just ask your uh, police commander at least, because should be done by the by police commander. He should know already, or inspector above. Basically, every inspector above should actually already know how to do it.